Jenny Kwan's attack on Carole James carries weight partly because she is the NDP's longest-serving MLA. Kirk Williams takes a look at her background and current motivation.
It all comes down to the yellow scarf. Jenny Kwan was wearing one when she nominated Carole James to lead the NDP, a symbol of support.
Wow!
Kwan chose not to wear one at the NDP council meeting, an ominous sign that Kwan had made up her mind. James must go. Jenny Kwan is known for her strong opinions. Her family moved here from Hong Kong when she was a child. She fought for tenants' rights in the downtown east side.
I, Jenny Wei Ching Kwan, do solemnly
She landed on city council, at the time the only voice from the left.
Minister of Municipal Affairs.
She then ran for the NDP and became the first Chinese-Canadian cabinet minister in BC. Kwan's single-mindedness was noted by political watchers of the day.
It can also be a real disadvantage, if you can't sort of be flexible or really listen to what someone is saying.
The leader of our party, Carole James.
So now, even though her party's elite voted overwhelmingly to endorse James, Kwan says that's not good enough. She's insisting on a one-member, one-vote leadership convention. Some party veterans are scratching their heads.
I do not understand why she seems to be hell-bent on destroying the NDP.
I would rather it not be happening, for sure, but maybe it'll be cleansing.
Is Kwan trying to cleanse the party of James so she can take her place?
I'm not interested in running for leadership. I don't have any leadership aspirations.
Kwan insists she's just reflecting what she's hearing on the streets. Kirk Williams, CBC News, Vancouver.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. It goes without saying that these have been challenging times for New Democrats and challenging times for myself. 12 days ago, the governing body of our party, Provincial Council, which is the democratically elected body for New Democrats, held a weekend meeting and by an overwhelming majority, 84%, sent a very clear message to our caucus and to our party members that it was time to unite. It was time to get on with providing a positive vision for the people of British Columbia. It was time to get ready to govern as New Democrats. Since that time, 12 days ago, a number of members of our caucus have decided to defy that decision, have decided to fight that democratic decision. That's not acceptable to me. That is not acceptable to our party. That is not acceptable to the majority of our caucus. And most importantly, it's not acceptable to the people of British Columbia. The people of British Columbia who are counting on us to provide them with that positive alternative. So we will be holding an emergency caucus meeting in the next few days where we will take an opportunity to talk about the behavior of caucus members, to talk about uniting around the direction that we have been given by our party, and more importantly, to remember who we are here to govern for. And every MLA will be held accountable for their behavior. When I ran for leader in 2003, it was a point of time of history for our party. No one imagined that our party could rebuild. No one imagined in 2003, when we had 2 MLAs and then 3 MLAs in the legislature, that it wouldn't take decades for us as a provincial party to be able to be strong in this province. It was a point of history for our party. And we are at a point of history in our party today. Are we going to continue the kind of infighting and disintegration that we are seeing? Or are we going to stand up and show British Columbians that we are ready to govern? Now, I didn't imagine myself as leader, being leader of this party during 2 points of history. But here I am. I think all of us, at some time in our lives, or our workplaces, or our communities, have faced a vocal minority trying to silence a majority. And people often are afraid to speak up. Well, I'm speaking up. because it is time to say enough of this kind of behavior. Our party came together on a historic weekend to say by an overwhelming majority it is time to unite. And I'm here to say that it is time to get on with the job that we need to do. I have been building a governing platform for British Columbia. And I've been talking over the last number of months about some specifics in that platform. Increasing the minimum wage, a green retrofit program for our public buildings, to do our part for reducing greenhouse gas emissions, to create green jobs, to make sure that we're doing our part around the environment. I've put forward specifics around transit. Get on with building the Evergreen line. Use carbon tax revenue to actually build transit and make green investments. I propose putting forward a child poverty reduction plan, one of the most shameful statistics that we've seen in this province. I put forward a plan to actually build an early learning and care system for British Columbia. I've talked about a competitive tax environment, investing in small business, tourism, arts and culture, diversifying our economy. I've talked about the need for good government, putting in place an inquiry into the BC Rail corruption trial, finding out what happened to the sell-off of our assets, and giving the people of British Columbia a government they can be proud of and hold their head high for. And right now, a small minority of our caucus is not doing a very good job of that. And it is time for us to unite. So we will come together at that caucus meeting. There will be an opportunity for every individual caucus member to talk about the issues they have and to declare that they are going to get on with providing a governing agenda for the people of British Columbia. Since that weekend, 12 days ago, I have reached out to every caucus member. I've given opportunities for every caucus member to meet with me, to put forward their concerns. This is not about disagreements. We will always have good, strong disagreements. We will have good, strong debates. That's how you come up with stronger policy. That's how you come up with better decisions. But this is about whether this caucus can show that we are ready to govern in British Columbia. The party has spoken. I have spoken. The majority of caucus has spoken. And it is now time for every caucus member to be accountable for their behavior and to step up to the plate and be welcomed to take part in the kind of debate and discussion and policy development and positive vision building that needs to occur. You know, it's easy to take things apart. It's much harder to do the work to build things together. We have an exciting opportunity ahead of us to build a positive vision with British Columbians, an historic opportunity in this province, to do that together with the people of British Columbia, to show the people of this province that it's not about trading off economic development with environmental protection, that it's not about trading off investments in education with a strong economy. It's about building all of those, building a strong economy, healthy communities, and protect the environment. That's the kind of government that we will offer British Columbians. That's the kind of work we're going to get on with doing. And that's my commitment to my caucus, to my party, and most importantly, to the people of British Columbia.
Well, a showdown is looming for Carole James and the NDP. Sunday afternoon, it will come to a head when the party holds an emergency caucus meeting. Our legislative reporter Stephen Smart looks at the very public fight that is threatening the party.
Well, today is the calm before the storm, or maybe more accurately, the calm between the storms, as NDP MLAs and leader Carole James get ready for an emergency caucus meeting, a showdown of sorts on Sunday afternoon in Vancouver. This, of course, follows Jenny Kwan's scathing attack on Carole James's leadership earlier this week. Now, James yesterday in that news conference said that all MLAs will be held accountable for their actions, so certainly a showdown looming there. Now, many have suspected that longtime NDP MLA Bob Williams, no stranger to party coups himself, who's very well known for not being supportive of Carole James, might have been the one pulling the strings on this. We talked to him today, and he says he wasn't involved.
I am overjoyed that she made that decision. I mean, she has a great history and background in the party, and it's a classic British Columbia story for a woman with her background to be in the position she is. I'm excited for her and for us, and it's long overdue.
Now, the other thing that's happening today is a bit of a war of words, if you will, with longtime party stalwarts speaking out on either side of this issue. A couple of letters put out today. The first one from Corky Evans, of course, the longtime, very colorful MLA cabinet minister from the Kootenays. He is very much on side with the dissidents, very scathing of Carole James in this letter. That was countered as well this morning by this letter from Paul Ramsey. Now, Paul Ramsey, also a longtime NDP MLA cabinet minister back in the 1990s. He's very much supportive of Carole James and very scathing of Jenny Kwan in this letter. So a big showdown looming on Sunday, and frankly, it's not clear who will come out of this in power. Stephen Smart, CBC News, Victoria.